I'm excited for people all over the country in miserable weather in the Midwest and New York who love jazz to come out, see the mountains, hear the music, hear some great concerts that you'll never hear anybody else, some collaborations they'll never hear anybody else, and to get to show off Tucson at a beautiful time of year.
Elliot Glicksman and the mayor came up with this brilliant idea. He wants to have the Jazz Festival for two reasons. One, he wants it in January when the weather here is beautiful, but tourism is way, way down. So it's probably, the lull after the holidays and all of that stuff, and the winter visitors go back home and then they'll come back about the second or third week of January. So this, we're hoping to bring winter visitors back early and bring more winter visitors here, and the mayor's a big jazz fan too. I created a committee, an artistic committee with myself, Dan Coleman, who is a very smart guy about music, and Jeff Haskell, who is the outgoing head of jazz studies at the university. We wanted to have a really wide variety, from really straight-ahead music, big band music, to something, pushing the envelope. And Dan was able to open up some doors for us with some artists that we might not have been able to get, like J.D. Souther and Robert Glasper.
I am very, very eager to see artists who have really strong Southwest roots, guys like J.D. Souther, who've written so much for Linda Ronstadt and the Eagles, express their jazz fascination, and which is actually what he's doing right now with his new album on Sony, and also bring jazz from all across the country, from the best of Los Angeles, the best of New York, and bring it to Tucson and see this kind of melting pot take place. I think that's going to be very exciting for Tucson audiences. Robert Glasper is actually calling it jazz is a very, very broad stroke for Robert, because he's a jazz musician, but he's also a pop musician. He's an R&B musician. In the sense of that Duke Ellington was a musician for all back in the days of his big band. He wasn't just playing music for other artists. He was playing music for everybody to appreciate. Robert really has that way of communicating to large audiences through music that grooves, that you want to dance to, and music that has real dimensions to it. He's a fascinating guy.
I think the very first concert's my favorite concert, because it has this group that's very close to my heart, the Tucson Jazz Institute Ellington Band. And I'm the chair of the board of the organization that supports that group. And I love these kids. They've been the coolest thing that's ever happened to Tucson, I think. And we're bringing in my good pal Jimmy Cobb to perform with them, and also to perform with the headliner, Joey DeFrancesco, that night. We're going to kick it off with a bunch of the TJI kids and the mayor at the Mercado San Agustin, get on to the streetcar and ride all the way up to the Fox Theatre to kick the whole festival off.
But we believed good music would attract people downtown. Last second Saturday, we had over 20,000 people coming to this event. So we know cities like Austin and Portland and others use music to attract people to an urban environment. And I think this is another part of it, creating another genre that will attract aficionados to our downtown. It's got a great food and bar scene now, great concert venues, and great before and after parties.
But yeah, we're definitely highlighting local people. We're going to have local people on the streetcar performing, and we'll have flash mobs here and there, maybe at the Museum of Art. You never know where you're going to hear a little bit of jazz.
I am so proud that Tucson is bringing these world-class artists to town, and that downtown is ready for it. That the city is really just ready to have this renaissance of culture, and I think it's going to be something that is going to last well into the future. The effect of this first season, and also hopefully really excite people to bring more artists here in the future.
The free concerts on MLK Day, Martin Luther King Day, from 11 to 5 downtown at the Martin Luther King parking lot, which is on 5th Avenue. So it all takes place on 5th Avenue between Toole and Broadway. And we'll have 6 bands on each stage. It's not all jazz. We've got rhythm and blues, we've got a soul band, we've got a Latin jazz band, but we'll also have a lot of smaller jazz ensembles in the smaller Connect stage. And it's free.
I'm anxious to see the collaboration between Jimmy Cobb, the last surviving member of those great Miles Davis sextets that did Kind of Blue, Sketches of Spain, Porgy and Bess, with the best youth band in the country, the Tucson Jazz Institute Ellington Orchestra, playing together. I'm anxious to see a songwriter like J.D. Souther with a piano virtuoso like Billy Childs. It's going to be unbelievable.